I don't think we recognize that we live in 2026 and inflation is out the roof. Bro, you remember I went to the gas station, the corner store the other day, and that little Tropicana juice, it was $4.41.
Yes. And that angel, what that angel told you?
She said, don't get it.
Exactly.
More than ever, man and woman need to come together and just make things happen, not just financially, but just to have some sense of togetherness and then build community from that. Yes. But we're so focused on vanity metrics, man. I do want to live a nice life, okay? I want to go on vacations all the time, at least 3 times a year. I would love to do that. I want to have a nice car. I want to have the 5-bedroom home. I want those things, and I will get those things. But that's not at the center of my life, though. For men, black men, it's put so much pressure on us. And again, it just makes us feel as if we have no value because we don't have certain things and we're not checking off certain boxes. Mr. Jerry Vaval, what's going on, bloody?
JTG.
What up, what up, what up, what up, what up?
Let's welcome the audience to another episode of Giant Fundamentals, the podcast dedicated to empowering men by tackling the vital issues of mental health. With that being said, how's your mind? How's your heart? How's your body? What are you grateful for?
Mind, I feel present. My mind feels present. Mm-hmm. My body feels still. My heart feels content. Okay. Those 3 things right there.
No poetry.
Mm-hmm. You know. What am I grateful for? Damn, I told you this the other day. I said it purposely so I can remember.
And you forgot it?
Man, I forgot it. Nah, but I am grateful for the revelations I've been having. I don't know. I've always had these revelations and these epiphanies, but it's as if once I hit 40, things just started coming and coming. This is what it is. I have come to a point where I've recognized that I've been chasing status, success, money, a certain lifestyle, and I ain't doing that shit no more. Yeah, I recognize what are the most important things in life, and I believe really 2025, honestly, one of the best years of my life, and that doesn't mean it was smooth sailing by no stretch of the imagination, but the things I've been able to experience in 2025. And it's just been simple things like hanging out with the boys, just doing things as a group more, being more intentional about that. Just waking up, simply just going to the gym, or literally going to the beach and then sitting there for like an hour, meditating, watching the ocean. And I've been thinking lately, I'm like, this is the life I really want for real. I don't really care for real about all those other things, but it's because I've been influenced by society in a great way, and because I grew up in a way where I always had to prove myself to people. So I thought being successful, whatever that is, I thought that was the way to prove my worth, to prove my value as a person, as a man. But I'm so past that now. And I feel so at peace. And I was talking to a good friend of mine earlier this week, and I was telling her that I recognize that everything that I do here on out is literally icing on the cake. And I had to be able to sit in that and really meditate on why I believe that. Bro, I had no parents. Like when I think about it, I'm like, I literally had no parents. My grandmother was there, but she was just there. There was no supervision. Once I was out of elementary school, it was just do whatever I want to do. I didn't even go to school most of the time. I mean, I dropped out of high school.
Right.
But for me to have never gone to jail, well, I mean, I had close call. Me
too.
Yeah. But never gone to jail, never sold drugs, never been in a gang. And I was able to get a bachelor's degree, a master's degree, have kids. You know what I'm saying? I'm like literally, I am a 0.1 percenter. And this goes back to the whole success thing. We look at people who have money. We will look at a Barack Obama, LeBron James. We'll look at a Jay-Z and be like, oh, they're 0.1%. But if you really look closely, a lot of us are 0.1 percenters if you really look at it, because of the environments that we've come from and how we've made it out. The lack of resources that we've had and we made it out. The lack of guidance that we had and we structured our lives in a way to get us to where we are right now. But the problem is with a lot of us is that we're so focused on financial status that it blinds us to how great we have been and how great we are. So that's my giant gratitude, where I am just extremely thankful and grateful that my 15-year-old self, my 20-year-old self, 30-year-old self, he made the decisions for me to be the man that I am today.
Nice. And we don't plan this, right? As far as our giant gratitude, we just kind of just go, we freestyle it. But your giant gratitude walks right into my giant gratitude. And it says, no fulfillment in people commenting on the work, even though there is a fear of people's opinions naturally, but the fulfillment comes from being in the midst of the work and finishing or getting to a desired destination. So it's, for me, I had a somewhat of a interesting week because my mind was confused or just felt out of whack. My heart was just all over the place because of my mind, right? I felt like whatever I was going through mentally affected my emotions. And then my body was just, I was just getting back into the gym, working out, trying to heal my hamstring. So it was a down week for me, if I'm being honest. It wasn't necessarily a happy-go-lucky week, but something, why that gratitude was important to me was because while I was on social media, looking at other people do certain things and feeling like, oh, why am I not doing what they're doing? Or how come they get that opportunity? And even though I know those people are not where I'm at in life, right? They're faking until they make it, but the perception of it all. Yeah. And then I had to ask myself, but is that what I really want? Is that the fulfillment that I really want? What is the fulfillment? And being here with you now, you busting the Lynette, back with the glasses, and just recording this podcast and just fulfilling the purpose I feel that I have for my life is way more important than what social media has. And it was just something that I realized it's a sickening position, because I remember growing up, they thought we watched too much TV, but now we carry TV in our hands. Right? Remember there's a get in front of it. But now we carry it in our,
I forgot about it. Yeah.
What? Now this is a drug. It's cocaine. It's full on dopamine all the time.
All the time, 24/7, 7 days a week, twice on Sundays.
You already know.
Yeah.
And it's like now I'm realizing, or I gotten to the point where I appreciate the awareness that I have, because I was able to stop myself in the tracks and be like, yo, I'm doing too much of this, because now it's starting to affect me. So it's just interesting that you brought up that gratitude.
Yeah. You know, I realize that the best posture you can be in is the posture of the present moment. Like when you really just sit in the moment and you just look around you, you look at yourself, you see people passing by, it's like it gives you a sense like, oh wow, I am living, I am alive. But when you're constantly forecasting, or you're constantly looking back at the past at how many mistakes you make or how many mistakes you've made, it never really makes you feel good. Either you looking at the past, you're feeling guilt and shame. Looking at the future, you're feeling anxious because you don't know how you're going to get there. Right. But when you're in the present, there is a certain feeling that you have. There's a stillness that you have. And as you know, of course, I started doing breath work and meditation, and I've gotten to a point where I can do 30 minutes straight. Wow. So I would like lay down, like this week, I laid down in the grass in front of the house and I did 30 minutes.
I'm sorry.
What happened?
Because you killed the grass. You killed the
grass. You gotta let the people know why you say that. Though. You gotta let them know.
They have to listen. They have to listen. That's my dad. So quick story time. Story time with JV. It's funny because I remember getting in trouble. I actually got my last beating that I got from my dad was because I played basketball at Jono's house. Literally. I was like 13, 14 years old. I went to Jono's house and I played basketball. Whoop-de-doo. It was a big deal. My dad thought I had...
Oh, how far away did I live? Like 5 minutes away?
Yeah, you like not even 2 blocks. Like, come on, that's 2 songs.
Oh,
God. Literally walk to your house, play basketball. Me and my little sister were there for maybe 30 minutes.
Oh my God.
Walk back to but my dad could not find, we didn't have cell phones. So my dad couldn't find us for the hour that we were supposedly missing. He thought we skipped town and ran away to the Bahamas or something. And so I got a beating for that because I was the oldest and whatever. I was a terrorist. And so I told him, I was like, hey, look, he has a basketball hoop. Like, we don't have a basketball hoop. So my dad actually bought us a basketball hoop. And I was so excited. I used to play on that thing. Like, right after school, I used to play. Like, all day, every day. Even when it's dark out, play. People used to come to the block. Mark Joe used to come to the block, play with me and stuff. And then one day, I'm in, the way our house was, we had a Florida room where we watched TV, but it was right by the garage. So one day I'm watching, I think I was probably watching like the Thong Song or something like that. Cisco wasn't supposed to watch it. It's too much booty, but whatever. I was watching like MTV or something like that. And all I hear is shing, shing, shing. And I'm like, what is that noise? Something is like, it sounded like construction. So I went out to the garage. Like I went outside the house and went through outside the house to the garage. And it's my dad taking a chainsaw to the basketball hoop. And I'm like, Poppy, what are you doing? He said, you always kill the grass. You kill the grass. And he's like, chainsawing, ching, ching. I couldn't believe my heart was crushed. Like,
not a chainsaw. Not a chainsaw.
It was a saw.
Your saw,
yes. But it was going ching, ching, ching. And I'm like, you literally are trying to break this by hand? Like, that's how much you hate me? He said, you killed the glass. But yeah, so that was that story. So
oh my God.
One of the depressing moments in my childhood.
Yes.
No, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, that was good.
Okay. Yeah, you know yeah.
But yeah, I'm in the grass and I'm meditating. And after the 30 minutes, I open my eyes. And it's like, and I've done this a few times. I open my eyes and it feels like I'm one with the earth. Like when I open my eyes, it's like I can't differentiate my sight from the sky. It's like it's one whole thing. And when I get up, there's a stillness that I experience that is crazy. It's like my body is just like, my mind, my spirit is just still. And it's just an extreme calm. And it's really those moments that I appreciate more than anything right now in my life. Because, bro, talking about growing up, your dad taking a chainsaw to your basketball hoop. I mean, that's the lesser of things that we've experienced. It's like, now that I'm older and I'm a therapist and I understand nervous system and how traumatic environments impact the nervous system, I'm like, bro, my nervous system has always been dysregulated. So now that I'm doing this breath work, it's like, oh, this is what it feels like to have a regulated nervous system? This is what it feels like to have your nervous system feel calm and feel at peace? I'm like, oh, I need more of this. Yeah.
You felt like Peter using walk on water, huh? That is interesting. I got to get into the breath work. I could only meditate for like 5 minutes.
Trust me, you could do more than you think because we stayed in church with those 30-minute prayers on our knees. Trust me.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
You could build up to it.
Oh, yeah,
you could build up to it.
Well, talk about building up. You seen T.I. dissing 50 Cent? I know that's your boy.
I never really liked T.I. though.
Damn, why you hating?
I've never been a T.I. fan.
The whole family trying 50.
Yeah, I see that. And 50, he raw. He can't say nothing.
You mean he got to come? What you mean?
What
T.I. got bars.
He's not on his level.
The son got bars.
He's not on his level.
You biased.
50 he vibing. He just chilling. Hey, T.I. 50. There's no comparison there. There's no comparison. And I'm not even talking about in terms of music. I'm talking about status. Like where they are. 50 not going to come down to that.
Come down. T.I. got is
I'm not talking about bars. I'm not
50
talking
is
about
the
status.
it's come down to what? 50 stay down.
Yeah.
He's petty.
Yeah, but he got him. He's like, oh, I reeled him in. He's like, I reeled him in. He just let him do his thing. You know, he don't care. I'll be very surprised if he come out with something. Tony Yayo will probably come out with something before he does.
You're probably right. With the face guard. Well, let's get into our mental health music section. What Eminems do you have for us today? What's the special Eminem?
Well, it's a track that I recently made. It's called Heal. So we're gonna play one verse of it, one verse, and the hook, and we'll talk about it a little bit.
Let's take a listen.
Blacking out, you always seem to forget. Trauma got you seeing nothing but threats. The hippocampus taken over by grief. Amygdala in fight, flight, or freeze. Danger is all you seem to expect. Cycling through self-hatred and regret. Constantly finding yourself in traumatic loops. Resting for hours but still can't seem to recoup. Excited when you get social media follows. When that fades, then you proceed to feel hollow. Calling yourself with the self-righteous posture. A poor attempt to veil and cover up the monster. A safe haven for yourself you need to foster. And while you're at it, get all them downs off your roster. Adrenaline high intensity is fierce. Off the glass I call game Paul Pierce.
Awesome.
Yeah. So that song has been inspired on regarding my journey.
Okay.
Because I recognize that, I remember going to therapy back in 2018. That's the first time I did individual therapy. And from then on, I've just been learning a lot about trauma. Of course, I became a therapist. I was in training to be a therapist at that time as well. But I've been learning a lot about trauma. But it's not until literally this last year that I feel like I'm really starting to heal. And the reason I say that is because a lot of times we think that just because we are gathering information, that information we're internalizing it and it's shifting us within ourselves, especially when it comes to trauma. But it's just information that you're downloading into your brain. In order to actually heal, you have to do somatic work. You have to do body work. So that's where the meditation and the deep breathing comes into the picture. And that's where, like for a lot of men, how we have a challenge of feeling our feelings.
Yeah.
Once you start feeling your feelings, that's how you know you're starting to heal. Like when something happens, you feel a pit in your stomach and you recognize that, that's how you know, oh, I'm being connected with my body again. Because for a lot of us, what ends up happening is when we experience a level of trauma, we go into our brains and we live there and we disconnect from our bodies completely. But our bodies are the thing that is like, that's where the intuition is. That's where the guide is. That's where the feeling is. That's where loving life comes from. That's why you see a lot of us could be very stoic because we're so disconnected from our bodies. So I feel like this past year, 2024, 2025, I started to feel again. And I'm like, oh, I'm starting to cry more. I'm starting to release more. I'm starting to know when I'm anxious. It's like, oh shit, I'm anxious right now. Oh man, I like, instead of saying, oh, I feel like, and that's one thing that my therapist taught me. She was like, hey, once you say you feel like, you're intellectualizing your feeling. You're not talking about a feeling. You're describing something. But when you say, I feel discouraged, I feel inadequate, I feel disappointed. See, these are emotions. But you say, I feel like this person did me wrong because, see, you're just intellectualizing. And a lot of us do that. We don't recognize that. So now I'm able to say, okay, I feel hurt. And I sit in it. Don't jump to just intellectualizing and say why I feel hurt. Just say, man, that really hurt me. and be comfortable enough to sit in the discomfort of being hurt. And that's how you know you're starting to heal. So that's what that song is inspired by.
Something you said in that verse we listened to, you was talking about traumatic loops.
Mm-hmm.
And based on your healing journey and what you've learned from 2018 to now, and now that you're able to feel, how has that changed your relationship with your children, and how do you guide them so they're not repeating those traumatic loops?
Well, I think for my kids and how I'm teaching them, it sounds very simple, but it's just being present with them when they are feeling their feelings. Because as parents, a lot of times, especially as men, we're trying to pull them out. Like, okay, yeah, just, okay, I know that happened. Okay, you got to do that. You're just trying to pull them out of it. But because I'm getting out of my own traumatic loops, because I'm being more comfortable with feeling my feelings, now I'm more comfortable and I have the emotional capacity to sit with them and how they feel. So now I'm sitting with them and how they feel. I'm like, oh yeah, that happened. Oh man, that's bad. Instead of like just dismissing it.
Right.
So yeah.
No, I mean, if you want to check out more of the song, or the whole song in its entirety, it's going to play at the end of our podcast episode. And we're going to be featuring a song every month. So that's our song of the month is Heal. So that kind of brings us to our main topic. And I love that you said in your giant gratitude that you realize that you're a 1%er, right? I think that's something that as men, we strive to be. We want to be the 1%er because we want everything that a 1%er has or acquires over time, right? So, I mean, the invisible war of the black man and his path to power, right? So what you dealing with your clients and in your own journey with success, what made you want to bring that topic to the podcast today?
One, because it's Black History Month. We about to end it tomorrow.
Yes, we are.
That's one.
Power to the people.
Yes. Two is because social media and the G wars. There's the generational wars and then there's the gender wars.
I thought you were talking about G Unit. Okay, got it. I was say the gang still hating.
And then there's the gender wars, man. And I strongly dislike the gender wars.
Yeah.
I strongly dislike it. And I'm not a conspiracy theorist by no stretch of the imagination. But I do believe it's by design. Especially for the black community, for sure. And how I notice how for men, because this is a podcast representing men.
Yes.
And everything that we say is not a shot at women. Nothing that we say is a shot at women whatsoever. We're just standing in the gap for the black man that doesn't know how to articulate how he feels.
Right.
Okay? So I notice with these gender wars, there's a lot of pressure that are put on black men. Because if you don't have six figures, you're not making six figures, you ain't shit.
Yeah.
If you ain't got a six pack, if you don't look a certain way, you don't got a certain height. Because I'm like,
no, it's demonic. It's 666. You got to be 6 feet. You got to have six figures and six pack. Go ahead. They don't realize it's demonic. I'm telling you, they don't. This is the mark of the beast. They don't really understand.
Oh my God. Yeah, no, but it's like, so you're telling me if you're not 6 feet tall, a woman is just going to completely just disregard you. Yeah. You have all the great qualities. If you ain't got six figures, but you pay your bills, you good with your finances, you take care of yourself, no. To me, that's crazy. But more than it being crazy, I don't think people recognize, because men do it, we do it to each other too.
Yes.
You don't recognize how degrading that is. Like, your sense of self is always fractured, is always shattered. You're always chasing. You're always trying to acquire and attain because you want to feel worthy. Because that's the thing about every single last one of us. Every single person, I don't care who you are, you want to feel as if you're worthy. You want to feel as if your existence matters. But then when you have all these societal standards that say, if you don't have this, then you're not this. If you can't check off this box, then you're in this category. Man, that really fucks with your head. It really does. And it pulls you away from the essence of who you are. And then you can't truly live a purposeful, pleasant life because you're always trying to check off these boxes. And I don't think society at large understands the psychological and the emotional impact that has on a Black man, because we're always at a deficit.
Yeah.
But then when you have the gender wars mixed in there, and you got, our Black women feeding into that, it's like, damn. And okay, I'm not saying that all Black men are whatever. Yes, I'm not, because you know how people, they're gonna take things, they're gonna try to spin it. Yeah. Yes, I'm on my shit. I'm doing what I need to do. But the reality is, not every single man is gonna be able to make 6 figures. Right. Not every man is gonna be able to be a millionaire. Right. But does that mean he's not worthy? That he's not qualified? And then someone would say, well, that's just not my preference. Okay, and that's fine. But guess what? You're gonna be waiting for that guy to come, and there's somebody right there in front of you. And just because you won't adjust, you're missing out on a good man. And then men, we're missing out on relationships because now men, they just want to be in their corner. They're like, all right, I'm not even gonna try to I'm not even gonna try to do anything for real. I'm not even gonna try to pursue or anything.
I do get annoyed when a woman says that is my preference, right? Because it's like, what is that preference built on? Like, what information? It seems like you're borrowing someone else's preference, right? Because you don't even live a lifestyle that requires 6 figures. Like, that's not even who you are.
But they want to, though.
I understand. So then, how are you asking me to provide something that you don't even have for yourself?
No, because as a man, I'm supposed to be the provider. I'm supposed to give you that. It's my job to give you that. I'm not saying that's right, but that's the mindset. It's like a man is supposed to come, sweep me off my feet, and he's supposed to just take care of me. But I don't think we recognize that we live in 2026 and inflation is out the roof. Bro, you remember I went to the gas station, the corner store the other day, and that little Tropicana juice, it was $4.41.
Yes. And that angel, what that angel told you?
She said, don't get it.
Exactly. She told you didn't even know. You was going to pay. You was in a relationship that was not good for you. And someone else had to save you from that. $4 for
lady told me
3 ounces of juice.
She's like, no, don't get it.
That's crazy.
It's
$1 an ounce.
Yeah, so it's like, we're not recognizing the times that we live in. Like, more than ever, man and woman need to come together and just make things happen. Not just financially, but just to have some sense of togetherness and then build community from that. Yes. But we're so focused on vanity metrics, man. And I'm going to say this because even if I say it, people still going to misconstrue what I'm saying. I do want to live a nice life, okay? I want to go on vacations all the time, at least 3 times a year. I would love to do that. I want to have a nice car. I want to have the 5-bedroom home. I want those things, and I will get those things. But that's not at the center of my life, though. That's not like something that I'm like, oh, I have to have this or my life is over, or I have to look. No, but that's how we're acting, and we don't realize that that is causing a major divide between us. And for men, Black men, it's put so much pressure on us. And again, it just makes us feel as if we have no value because we don't have certain things and we're not checking off certain boxes.
You mentioned social media as one of those things that are holding men and Black men in particular back. To your point about the gender wars and what women are requiring as part of their preference, there is another side to it where you have women who are desperate and they marry or get with someone based on potential. And now they're posting online the vacations, the cars, everything. And other people are seeing that, and now they say they want that.
Yeah.
And they have no clue what's going on in that relationship, but it looks a certain way.
Right.
So now it puts men and women at a disadvantage because now if you tell a girl, well, that preference, you shouldn't have that preference. Well, Kiki got it. You know what I mean? Even though Kiki with the local drug dealer and he has 3 other girls,
That's
but
scam money too.
it's scam money, you know what I'm saying? But she sees it on social media
Yeah.
and now she wants to adopt it for her life. So
Yeah.
what do you see how social media is plaguing the black men?
Well, because in one way that you didn't mention is a lot of us are going on social media and we think we have so many options. And it's a lie. You may see a lot of women on social media, but what are the quality of these women? Don't be fooled. So let's talk about that first and foremost. Don't be fooled. Secondly, there is this comparison that you're doing because now you are seeing what people have, you're seeing what other men are doing, and then you're trying to emulate that, and you don't recognize when you're doing that, you're literally stepping out of your gift. You're stepping out of your purpose because I can't do what you do. You can't do what I do. But then I say, oh man, Jerry has this and that and that. What is he doing to have that? All right, I need to do exactly what he's doing so I can have that. But you don't recognize, if you understood what you valued most, if you understood your gifts, if you had some type of understanding of your purpose, you could probably have what Jerry has and maybe even more. But social media tricks us and makes us think. That's why people always sending these courses and saying, oh, you want to do this, make $1 million and do this, and that. And people they're feeding into that. And people are getting frustrated. Listen, boy, I don't know. in my short 40 years of life, we're probably from the age of 28 to 37, 38, yeah. So like 10 years, boy, I spent a lot of money on some courses, boy.
Course king.
Boy, I spent a lot of, one day I have to really tally up. I know it's most definitely, for sure, over $30,000. For sure. I'm positive. Because I already know 2 programs I spent $10,000 for.
Wow.
So I already know.
Well, you can sell a course on how not to take a course. That could be big business.
Yeah. So I'm not speaking from a place of like, I haven't done it. Like, I've been doing it. And I'm not saying these courses don't work. I'm not saying that they don't work. But you got to understand, when you're in that posture of chasing and trying to attain something, you don't realize that you're going to just be grabbing onto things that don't work for you. And then you're going to be frustrated like, dang, I keep trying this and that and that, but I can't get it. Man, Jerry got this, and I'm trying to get what Jerry got, and I'm doing what Jerry's doing, but I'm not getting what Jerry's getting. But you don't know nothing about Jerry's life. Yeah. You don't know what he had to go through to get that. You don't know who he had to become to get that. You don't know what trials and tribulations, what he's lost, spouse, kids, family members, cars, homes. You don't know what the person went through. You just see a end product, and then you're like, yo, I want that. But you don't recognize that you have your own individual path. And life is trying to teach you lessons along the way to grow you as a person. And I really feel like as a society, we're just not in tune with our spirits anymore. Where everything is just surface, vanity. Oh, I want this, I want that, and going after that. But you don't recognize that there's a lot of growth along the path, and there's a lot of bumping of the head along the path. That's why you're not getting what you want. And what you want, or that's why you're not getting what Jerry has. He's keep using you. Right. You're not getting what Jerry has because what Jerry has was never meant for you. But because you're not surrendering to life, and you're not anchoring yourself in who you are, because you don't know who you are, because you're always looking at the app and seeing what everybody else is doing, you're moving further and further away from your authentic happiness.
Talk about moving further away. You mentioned generational wars. So what do you see is that generational war that we're dealing with now that we probably don't even realize is going on in the background?
One of the main things is that it's sad, and I'm gonna speak for you too, that as Black men, we don't have other Black men in the previous generation to mentor us.
Yeah, that's tough.
I don't know one Black man that are around our age that has a mentor, unless they already have a father that is there and he's active. But that's far and few too.
Let me edit that. I do know Black men like us that had mentors, but they had to be in broken homes. They played at the YMCA. Their mom was a crackhead or something like that. They wasn't around their dad. They played sports, and then the neighborhood coach would mentor them. Yeah. Or maybe the neighborhood drug dealer. But for like,
Very true.
but if you were a regular black man, like someone who just, yeah, you went to school, you did what was told, like you didn't really give too much trouble, it was hard for you to find a mentor.
Yeah.
You had to be like, you were a problem child and you still didn't have a mentor.
Yeah.
Right? You had to be an extreme problem child for you to say, okay, I need to take that young man under my wing before he ends up in jail or prison. And look, when I was young, I was in 5,000 role models. I don't know if they probably didn't let you in. Your record was.
Bro, I didn't care about that.
I had the tie with the hands.
I wasn't trying to do that.
I went to the field trips. Yes, that was the closest I got to a role model. And then I was supposed to be a role model in training. But to your point, later in life, it was, trying to do business and be successful. And everyone's like, get a role model, get her. I was like, where do you buy them?
Yeah, exactly.
Like,
where do you get the mentor from? Where do you get the role model? Yeah. So that's why I feel like that's the generational gap for us, is like we don't have people in the previous generation to help guide us. And maybe, I don't know. I'm not trying to shit on them, but maybe they still trying to figure things out too. They could be in their 60s. They probably still trying to figure it out.
Right.
But I just believe, even though you're trying to figure it out, you can still help somebody else get somewhere along the way. Just to even just have that support. I don't see that. That's why I feel like with the gender, with the generations, there's just a major gap.
And also another gap too that I see amongst the generations is just ideology.
Oh yeah, for sure.
For sure. What they believed and what they saw what worked for them.
Yeah.
Doesn't necessarily work for us.
Nah, because we live in a totally different time. But if you think about just our generation, we are the last generation. The millennials are the last generation to live without internet.
Yeah.
Like we had a time where we lived without internet.
Right.
Yeah, how crazy that is. Like we had CDs, we had cassette tapes. We listened to the radio.
Yes.
We recorded songs on the cassette tape on the radio when it came on.
Yeah.
We're the last generation to experience stuff like that.
Yeah.
So of course we're gonna have a different view of life than this generation, Gen Z and Generation Alpha, because they grew up in what we experience for the first time in terms of like the internet coming out. Like they don't even know what dial-up is, bro.
Yeah.
That's crazy. Forget internet.
DSL.
They don't know that.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that's why with my kids, I try my best not to be like, oh, you got it good. Because I try not to do that, because to them, it don't make no sense.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, okay. But when I tell them little stories, they'll be like, wow, we had more birthday parties than you? I said, yes, you did. I only had 3 birthday parties. You guys doubled me already.
Yeah.
I had a birthday party every single year. But that's the gap there. But I strongly believe it's up to the previous generation to humble themselves to get on the level of the generation that's coming up, not just to tell them things, but to also learn too, because I mean, the way these kids making money now is crazy. Like they're just online and they're just making money. You can learn from that, and then you could also give tidbits and guide. But in the same breath, the younger generation could be humble as well and don't think like, they're just old. Because I'm guilty of that. I remember people telling me stuff in the back like, you just, and now I was like, dang, I ain't gonna lie, they were right. I should have probably listened a little bit more.
Right. So what do you see as far as holding back us as black men in the career challenges?
Ooh.
Because I know you do, a lot of your clients are successful.
Yeah.
In their own right.
It's something very sneaky and very uncommon. I don't think we recognize it, but something that's really holding us back is our emotional literacy. Because the thing is, you can get a basic job. You can get a call center job. You could get a job, fast food, supermarket. Those jobs don't necessarily require emotional literacy because you're just doing the same thing over and over, right? But when you're actually like looking to advance in a career, you need your emotional literacy needs to be strengthened. And when I say emotional literacy, I'm talking about emotional intelligence.
Mm-hmm.
You have to know how to be able to deal with people. I have a good friend of mine. Nigga been in school for his whole life. Whole goddamn life, boy. He's finally out of school. And boy, you know I'm talking to you right now. You better not go back to school. Okay? You better not go back to school.
He love degrees.
Bro, the only degree he got Mars is the only place he can go now. He can't get no more degrees. Then the nigga got a dental degree. Then he went back to school to be an oral surgeon. He went to medical school. Hey, who go to medical school and dental school? Who do that? Who do that? So he got everything. And I told him, hey, you can only go to Mars now.
Yeah.
I don't know if to do surgery on Mars. Maybe they got some type of degree, some type of certification for that. That's what you can do now. But now he's like the head doctor, and he's like managing, I don't know, maybe like 10, 15 people. And you're in the medical field, and the medical field is saturated with women.
Yeah.
So he has to deal with all of these emotions and all these different things. He's like, man, that's not even about the job. Like, why are you worried about that? He told me that one will pass by him. He don't say anything. He's gonna do the work. He's like, oh, doctor, you didn't even say hi to me this morning. Didn't you notice that my scrubs or what? He's like, oh yeah. He's like, what? Like what's that matter? Like, that's what he's thinking to himself. He's like, in his mind, he's like, you can just do the job.
Right.
But you see, that's the emotional literacy. That's the emotional intelligence. You got to understand that you're not just going there to do a job. A big part of your job is learning how to understand people, their emotions, what makes them go, what makes them don't go. People come from homes and they're having issues with their partners, and they come into work and they're bringing a vibe. You got to be able to pull them aside, be like, hey, everything okay? I see you a little different today. See, all that stuff deals with career advancement. And as men, we don't have that. And that's why I would always say this. That's why I feel like women, when they're leaders, they're better leaders than men.
I agree.
Because they have that. It's like it's baked in. Well, some of them, they be acting a little too strong, like men. But I see a lot of them, they have that emotional intelligence. They have that piece. So as men, yeah, we can go to school, we can get the advanced degrees and things like that. But man, you got to take some sort of emotional intelligent class, have some type of guide. You know, y'all just hit me up. I'm here.
Yeah.
I'll help you out.
My mom always said that every time I had a parent-teacher conference, it was a guy teacher. It was a man teacher. I never had issues with my women teachers.
Then you had a guy teacher? I don't remember having
I had Turner,
substitutes. Oh, yeah, Mr. Turner.
Mr. Fabian.
Oh, that's elementary school.
And then middle school, I had Mr. Virgin. Oh my gosh, this white teacher.
Damn, Mr. Virgin.
I love Mr. Virgin.
That's not a good name. For
a
middle school teacher,
gosh.
that's not a good name.
Bruh.
That's
you know me, I raped him one time. He was like, I'm calling your mother. I'm like, oh, great. And then he followed me to high school. Mr. Virgin came all the way out to
He went to Hialeah? Wow.
Yeah, and I was like, oh my God. But he ended up being he was an impactful teacher. He was I would say he was one of my mentors. Now that I think about it, it's Black History Month, but a white man was one of my, because he told me in high school, he said, you know why I used to always ask for your mom to come and speak to you is because it was easy for you. Your potential was so high, but I wanted you to always work at that high level and not try to be like the other kids and be funny and stuff. Because my report cards always had an A3C in it. I always did my work. My work was great, but I just always talkative, joking and stuff like that. And he always wanted me to perform at a high level. So, and he helped me. He was the art teacher. So artistically, like he helped me develop my art. So that's why I have a keen eye for art. Even when we go to the studio, certain things it's principles from what I learned from him as far as art. So I definitely appreciate Mr. Virgin. He definitely was single, if anybody's thinking about that. Yeah, he was Mr. Virgin. So I was like, man, you've been a virgin your whole life? I was like, you only calling in my mom because you think you're going to get some, huh? Colonizer. But yeah, so it's interesting that you bring that up. And I know you have some tidbits for us to get to, but one thing that we talked about when we were preparing the show, you was talking about psychological attacks that Black men deal with. What did you mean by that?
Well, we've been talking about it, like the whole social media and how we're looking at certain things and we think we feel the pressure to meet those standards. if we don't meet those standards, then we ain't shit. We ain't worthy. We don't have value. All of those are psychological attacks, psychological and emotional attacks.
So, with that being said, what is our path to power?
Well, I said one already, the emotional literacy.
Got you. Okay.
The emotional intelligence. Another one, number 2, would be, which I think this is a challenging one, because you really have to do the inner work, creating your own metrics for life.
Wow.
Because think about it. I already told the societal metrics. It's like, you got to look a certain way.
Right.
Okay. You got to have a certain amount of money. You got to make a certain amount of income. Those are societal metrics. Those are vanity metrics.
Yeah.
And because they're not true to who we are at our core, they are making us unhappy. So you have to create your own metrics. And I said it for my giant gratitude. That's what I'm doing. I'm creating my own metrics. I'm like, oh, this is when I feel my happiest, when I could just wake up in the morning, go to the gym. After the gym, if I choose to, go to the beach and sit there for about 30, 45 minutes. I could journal, I could do my breathing exercise, and go home, and then call my kids, spend time with them, talk to them, like just lay in my bed, watch TV, like have a very simple, slow life. I wasn't like that a year ago, 2 years ago. I wasn't like that. I was always, and then now that I've slowed down, I'm like, oh, this is what I want for my life. So now I'm not gonna say I'm not, period, but I'm less and less affected on what I see, but on what I see online. Yeah. But man, it took a lot to get to just this point. And I'm not done yet. Yeah. But I'm like, damn, I'm not done, and I feel so much better in the direction my life is going in right now.
Do you feel, when you creating your own metrics, your own KPIs, do you feel like your performance at work has gotten better?
Yeah. 1,000,000%. Because now I'm not showing up feeling as if I have to be a certain way as a therapist. Yeah, I'm not feeling that way anymore. Now it's like, okay, I'm coming to the session, and even though I've always been open with my clients about myself, I just feel there's a different energy now. Like, it's just like there's more, and maybe they don't recognize that. Maybe they feel it's the same, but for me, I could feel it. There's more humanity there on my end. Yeah, so it definitely has helped me to connect with them more and to be more empathetic. Because, the misconception is that therapists they have empathy and understanding and compassion baked in. No, a lot of us be faking it. I'm being real with you, because think about it. If you're seeing 15, 20, 25, I know people that see 30 clients a week, you're going to experience compassion fatigue. Wow. Yeah. So this is why it's important as a therapist for me to have those moments where I'm like, I'm going to the beach, or I'm exercising, or we're in a basketball league, like doing those different things, like replenishing myself so I can have the emotional capacity to be there for my clients.
What's the third way?
We touched on it already. Brotherhood and mentorship. For me, that's one of the biggest things for me. Like this week, I text one of our boys, P. Yeah. And it's because I was thinking about it. I was like, and I texted him, I was like, bro, I can't believe I've known you for over 30 years. And it's like, just like, oh, I know him. Because, we know a lot of people we see around. We've known them since elementary and stuff like that. We see them, but we don't really know them. Maybe we had a period in time in our lives where we were around them. We played with them, basketball, football, in the neighborhood, church, wherever, but we don't really know them. Like, I've known P since the 80s. Wow. 90s. And like, we've been friends every single step of the way. Yeah. Like, I don't know if there's one thing this guy doesn't know about me. There's probably some things about him I don't know, because, nigga, you be tripping. But you getting better. You got better. But No, but real talk, like,
Mhm.
I'm like, you know how I don't think people understand how beautiful of an experience that is.
Yeah.
To have people in your life that you know. And it's not even just people. It's like men, other men, like you, P, Mark, a few others. You guys have seen every single version of me. Every single version.
Wow.
And not a lot of people can say that. And there is a comfort that comes with that. It's like, man, these guys have seen me in every single phase and they still love me and they accept me. Every single phase that I've been through, you guys have accepted me. And I work with men that don't have one other man that they can trust.
Wow.
And I'm like, yo, that is a lonely existence. Like, Mark would just call me. Oh, yeah, it was good, man. Just checking up on you. What's going on? People just call me. Oh, what's going on? It's like, you know how people don't, you know how many men don't have that? I don't, I'm seeing them every day. And I'm literally the only one that they talk to. Like one of my clients this week, great client, man. I really love working with him. And I was like, we were talking about core values. Yeah. And I was like, what are your core values? And I had a list. I make him do the assessment or whatnot. And he said trust is one of his core values, his top 5. And he tells me, I am big on people trusting me. If somebody tells me something, it will never leave me. Yeah. So I asked him, okay, what if the shoe is on the other foot? Do you have people you can trust? Do you have other? I said, outside of your mom, because, you know, boys love their mom. I said, outside of your mom. He was like, you? I said, no, I don't count.
Oh, wow.
You only see me like twice a month.
And he pays you.
Yeah, but here's the thing. I'm the very first black man that he could ever feel that he can be truly honest and open and cry in front of and say the deep things that he's never shared with anybody.
Wow.
And I'm like, dang. Just me. And I'm like, for me, I got like 5, 6, 7, 8 other men that I can do that with.
Right.
So it's really, I don't think we really understand how deep of an issue it is for men to truly connect with other men. And you could be around the man all the time. You could have grown up with them, and then there's this wall there. Because we're just so afraid to open up in that way. And that's one of the big reasons that we've created this podcast, because we want to be able to share what we've built with one another, what we've built with our other friends. And we want to be able to give that to other men too. So even though you may not be like with us right now, but the conversation is therapeutic. It's like, oh, wow, there's other men that feel this way. You know how many times I hear men say, oh, wow, you feel that way too? He said, oh, that's what I've been feeling. I never knew that's what that was. See, that's where that emotional intelligence comes into the picture. Right. That emotional literacy comes into. A lot of us feel in certain type of ways. You don't really know why you're feeling that way. But the thing is, when you get around other men who have done some level of work and they invite you into what they've experienced in the growth and the healing and the maturation that they've experienced, it makes you comfortable. And then, you know, iron sharpens iron, and you want some of that too. So this is why we've created the podcast in order for other men to experience that. But the brotherhood and the mentorship, big. Those 3 right there.
Do you have any other takeaways?
No, that's
the main 3s. So the first one was emotional literacy. Second one was I'm trying to see if I remember this one. Wait, your own personal metrics.
Define your own metrics.
Your own metrics. And the third one is brotherhood and mentorship.
Yep.
Man, this was a great podcast. I just want to say I love you, bro.
I love you too. Until we pod again.
I love being black.